3, 4. Stay with me, remain here with me. Watch and pray. Watch and pray. Stay with me, remain here with me. Watch and pray. Watch and pray. Stay with me, remain here with me. Watch and pray. Watch and pray.
Welcome, good morning to Church in Ocean Park. There will be other welcomers too.
Hello, my name is Joseph, name my mother gave me, MacDonald, the name my father gave me, and Hepburn. We are members here of the church in Ocean Park, and we are here to welcome you today, Mother's Day, to this unique multi-faith community that is dedicated to social justice. So you may be wondering if you are welcome here. Yes, you are welcome if you are Jewish, if you are Muslim, if you are Catholic, if you are Christian, if you are atheist, or some other combination of something else. You are welcome if you just came in from a protest march, or you aren't able to attend any marches now because of the confused situation in which we live. You are welcome if you miss Pride Month activities, or if you are participating in something else. You are welcome if you don't have a job, never had a job, or had the job that you had taken away from you, or not sure whether you're going to a job tomorrow or not. You're welcome at the church in Ocean Park. We have a special invitation to those who are just browsing, just woke up, or even just got out of jail. We don't care if you are on your way, habemus papa. We don't care if you're on your way to see the new pope, or if you haven't been to church since your own baptism. We invite soccer moms, tree huggers, latte sippers, vegetarians, everybody. We invite those who are in recovery, those who would need a prayer right now. We invite those who are inked or pierced, and I say to you today, rejoice and be glad for the journeys you've had. Happy Mother's Day from Church in Ocean Park, LA.
Thank you, Chaplain Joseph. My name is Janet Gollery McKithen, and I'm the minister here at the Church in Ocean Park. And I also welcome you here this morning. This is Mother's Day, and I know the Mother's Day can be a little tricky for many folks. For some folks, it's maybe they're like me. It's my first time without my mother on Mother's Day. For other people, maybe they wanted to have a child, they were not able to. Some people have lost children. Some people are grieving for all different reasons. So it is a celebration as well as sometimes mixed emotions. Some people didn't have a beautiful, loving mother like I did, and some there are some complications. So just realize that and hold it in your heart when we celebrate, as we celebrate mothering, because all of us, mothering, it doesn't have to do with actually giving birth to somebody. You can be mothering and never have given birth. There's teachers who I feel mothered me very, very well. And I know that people have, in this room, are mothering other people every day. in their lives. And so mothering isn't limited to somebody who has a child. So we're celebrating all of that kind of mothering as well today. We want to acknowledge that we are currently sitting on stolen land. This land here in Santa Monica was taken violently from the Chumash, the Quiche, and the Tongva peoples. We acknowledge the harms of genocide, forced assimilation, enslavement, and destruction at the hands of U.S. settler colonialism. We acknowledge that our communities and country was built on the backs of people who were stolen from Africa, placed into bondage, and then forced into labor. And we acknowledge that we benefit from that labor that has never been repaid. In our acknowledgement, let us commit ourselves to healing by helping to create a more just and equitable world, by changing how we do things that we see as normal, but are actually systemically hurting other people. We begin with a Thich Nhat Hanh chant. We've been a lot of things on our mind today, I know, a lot of things in our hearts. So we're going to take a deep breath. And our Thich Nhat Hanh chant is, I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now, 3 times. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. I have arrived, I am home, in the here and in the now. In the here and in the now. Welcome to the church in Ocean Park. We're glad you're here. And I'm happy and excited to welcome Zora, who's going to come up and read us a poem. We've known Zora, some of us, since she was 2 years old. Come on up. From before she could read. Come on up, Zora.
I'm going to be reading a poem about Mother's Day.
Say that again.
I'm going to be reading a poem about Mother's Day. I'm going to be reading. I'm going to be reading a poem about Mother's Day. One day you were born. You should feel lucky that your mom made you. She could have done other things, and she didn't have to make you. She could have made waffles or maybe tofu. Over the years, she's given you tons of affection to raise you in the right direction. Some moms are the woman who made you, and some are the ones who raised you. No matter who they are, I'm sure they still love you. So why not today, let's make it even and celebrate Mother's Day. Peace and love, Zora Miller. Happy Mother's Day. That's it.
Okay, well, right now I'm thinking about Mother Earth. So we'll do a short chant. Mother, that's too low. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way. Way, oh, way, oh, way, oh. Way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way. Way, oh, way, oh, way, oh. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Way, oh, way, oh, way, oh, way. Have you standing up? Remember, that's good for you to stand up off your chair if you can, no pressure. 1, 2, 3, and go. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heart. Think about what you're saying. Way away, way away, away, oh. Mother, I way away, way away, away. One more time. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Mother, I feel you under my feet. Mother, I feel your heartbeat. Way away, away, away. Way away, away, oh. Way away, away, away. Way away, away, oh. Thank you, thank you.
All right, now I get to introduce somebody very special. Mark Haberland is a queer Los Angeles-based singer-songwriter performing under the name of Mark and the Tiger. He will be recording 2 of his new songs with the LA Trans Choir here at the church in Ocean Park. So when we get them, when we buy those later on, we'll know he did it here. It'd be so cool. This is what he wrote about himself. I'm originally from Maine, but I've lived in Los Angeles for nearly 15 years. Like many transplants, I came for Hollywood and acting, but very quickly the universe led me back to music. Along the way, I became a yoga teacher, a horse trainer, massage therapist, meditation facilitator, traveler, and husband. Somehow, the combination of all those identities has shaped the musician I am today. My goal is to create music that is sometimes beautiful, sometimes jarring, galvanizing, irreverent, and comical, but always rooted in a deep spirituality and the belief that we are all connected. My last album, The Hero's Journey, was inspired by Joseph Campbell's monomyth, guiding listeners through the underworld and back again. I don't know what will become of these songs. At first, they felt like another project, but as more pieces align, I'm starting to believe this is something bigger. What began as personal is turning into something more universal. Stories of love and connection and discovery and self-acceptance. Especially now, with growing attacks on the trans community, I believe these songs could offer a small light in a dark time. Welcome, Mark. Come on up. Thank you.
Oh, thank you all so much for having me, and thank you, Janet, for that. I won't lie to you, I was going to say a lot of that myself, so that's going to eat into some of my time. I will say I was really nervous when Janet asked me to speak. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to talk about. Originally, I was thinking that I wanted to talk about music as connection, because as you just heard, I really feel that music is about connection. It's about tapping into something that is greater than ourselves. And music is so vast. It can be anything. It can be the sound of the birds. It can be the sound of the traffic. I had a yoga teacher once in class say at the end, listen to the sound of the Om and the traffic outside. And I think that's true. And I think when you're listening to music, you forget about our differences. If you go to a concert, you're not thinking about the fact that someone out there might have a bias against you, or that they might have a hatred or something towards you. You're just there celebrating music together. Or if you go to a symphony, you're not thinking about the people next to you. And there's something really beautiful about that. But as I was sitting down to actually flesh that out, that was all I could come up with, and that was done. So there we go. Thank you all so much for your time. No. So I was trying to think, well, what does that really mean to me? And then I started to think about the path that led me here to speak to you in general. And it's been a really winding one, but it's one that has just opened up. And that has been a different sort of connection, a different sort of unraveling. As Janet said, I'm a yoga teacher. I've been a yoga teacher for 15 years. And if you study yoga at all, yoga talks a lot about the path forward. So where your mind goes, energy flows. And that has really been what has led me here to this stage to speak to you. And that has been, for me, music and my connection to it. And I fought that for a long, long time. If you study yoga at all, you'll know that the number one principle of yoga is to focus your mind, to focus it on one single thing, and to really follow that. But I was doing all these different things. Again, as you heard, I was teaching yoga, and I was doing acting, and I was singing, and I was doing horse massages and training and all these different things. And I was coming out to LA and trying to experience the whole world. And that's wonderful. I think a lot of us try to experience the whole world, seeking connection, seeking experiences outside of us, trying to discover who we are by doing everything. But the irony in that is that the more we try and do everything, the more we end up really doing nothing at all. And so what yoga says is that in order to really discover yourself, you focus your mind. The word yoga is a Sanskrit word. It has a lot of different meanings, but one of them is to link. So we think a lot of times to link the body and the breath, or the breath and your mind. And so that's why we do asana, we do poses. So you're linking your body and your brain, your breath and your body. You can do that with meditation too. So focusing your mind, sitting in stillness. And I ended up doing that with music. So when I finally gave myself over to music and said, okay, this is the one thing that I'm going to do, suddenly my world opened up. And the 15 years that I spent in LA doing all of these different things just sort of parted. And that is what led me here to you all today. And it's really only been in the last 2 years that all of these dominoes have started to come into place, where the songs that I've written have started to flush out. And my world has really started to come into place. And then it's led me here, that I met the trans choir, that I wrote the songs that I'm going to be singing for you today, that all these little synchronicities come into place. And I think I say this to you because sometimes we seek connection outside of ourselves, but the greatest connection can come from really finding that connection to yourself and honing in on that for a long time. And by honing in on that connection to yourself and really staying true to that, you can then open up to something greater and more vast than you could ever experience. So if it's all right, I'm going to do a little yoga exercise with you all. Sometimes when things get a little bit too crazy in your brain and it's hard to focus in on yourself, yoga says that the first thing to do is to always go back to your breath. And the easiest way to do that is to lengthen your exhale. That's the first tool. So if you don't mind, I'll lead you through a little breath exercise. So you can sit up just nice and tall. It's very easy. You're all breathing, so you're already doing a great job. So take a big breath all the way in through your nose, and then just exhale it out your mouth. And then we're just going to inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then inhale again for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time, inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just take a moment and just let yourself breathe normally and see how you feel. And hopefully you feel a little bit relaxed and calm. And so this tool, this just easy, gentle breath work, is a way to kind of get in touch with yourself, come back to your connection with yourself. And when the world outside of you is getting chaotic and crazy, you can use that as a tool to come back to you. Sometimes in our lives, as we're moving through our day-to-day, especially when the world outside is getting chaotic, it can be so easy to lose ourselves. We feel like we have to do 100 things all at once. We have to protest, we have to save our friends, we have to help our neighbors, we have to help ourselves, we have to do the dishes. It's so much all at once, and it's really easy to lose sight of our lives. And then it's really hard to do the things that we want to do. How am I supposed to be a musician if I also have to go out and save the world? And I also have to go and take care of my car and do all the things. And so taking these moments to just breathe, to come back to yourself is really, really important. And remember that those lifelines, those little things that you're here to do, to be a musician or to be a teacher or to be a mother, those through lines, the more you can focus on that, that will guide you forward and everything else will disperse. If you hold on and focus your energy on the thing that you are here to do, everything else will make sense. And hopefully, the seas will part and the chaos that is going on in the world today will ebb and dissipate, and we'll be able to get through this a little bit easier together. So focusing on ourselves a little bit more will hopefully find a little bit more connection. So I guess I came back to connection in the end at the same time. So with that in mind, I'm going to sing a song for you guys. And so this is a song that was born from doing exactly that. I was kind of struggling with my music for a while. I was fighting it. I was kind of feeling a little lackluster about it. I was feeling like I wasn't writing music for myself. I was writing it to be famous or writing it for other people. And for a long time, I was just kind of, going through the motions. And because I was really not giving in to my music, not focusing, not just doing it, I was all over the place. When I was growing up, my mom used to sing to me, this folk singer, Dar Williams. We used to sing her music together. And she came out to LA a few years ago, and I ended up going to the show. And when I was there, I ran into a yoga teacher friend of mine. And we got to talking, and she ended up saying, well, you know that this woman, Dar Williams, she leads these songwriting retreats in Connecticut. And I was like, no, I did not know that. I would have been there 100 years ago. And so I ended up going to one of those retreats just this past October. And the retreat happened to be right near where I went to college. So right before I went to college, or right before I went to the retreat, I was wandering around the town where I had been in school 15 years prior. And it was wild because the town was mostly the same. It had changed a little bit, but I had really changed. It was 15 years later. And then I went to the retreat, and it was beautiful. It was with an artist that reminded me of my mother, and it was with all these people from various backgrounds who had various levels of musical experience, but we were all there for a common purpose, to just experience this music together. And on the second day, I ended up sitting with a woman, Janny Banani, she called herself, and we were having lunch together, and turns out she was a psychic medium. And as we were talking, we were having a conversation very similar to exactly what I was just talking to you about. We were talking about connection. We were talking about yoga. And I told her exactly what I just told you, that I was feeling so disconnected from my music, so out of sorts, like I wasn't writing for myself. And she ended up just stopping for a moment. She's like, I'm getting all of these messages. I don't normally do this in a conversation, but I'm just getting bombarded. Do you mind if I gave you a reading? And I said, oh, okay, sure. She's like, they're telling me that you have to get out of your own way. You have to give yourself permission to do this. You have to grieve. You have all of the tools at your disposal. You just have to focus on it and let yourself do it. And that conversation finished, I ended up going out into the woods, and in an hour I sat under a tree and I wrote this entire song. So I'm going to sing that song for you today. It's called Burn. Now, I usually play with a guitar player, so you have to put up with my fair to middling guitar skills. I should have just had you play for me, Louise, if only next time. Pardon me, let me just get a pick out.
Fallen leaves, a reminder of the person that you used to be. With your head bowed to ignore the crowd, and your heart tucked down so you don't stand out. And now, though your back is straighter, you're still tied to the lies that made you. Listen to the voices all around. You were meant to burn brighter than the gold on the leaves of the home you knew before. Hotter than the fires wild on the coast where you tried to soar. And if there is a chain, then break it. If you need permission, take it. Nothing but the world is what's in store. You were meant to burn. True change doesn't come from pain, but the realization that there is another way. You can act tough, take the trail rough, and finally you'll see you always were enough. And now, at that final hour, step into your power. Listen to the voices all around. You were meant to burn brighter than the gold on the leaves of the home you knew before. Hotter than the fires wild on the coast where you tried to soar. And if there is a chain, then break it. If you need permission, take it. Nothing but the world is what's in store. You were meant to burn. Who told you you're not good enough? Who told you what you should have done? Take those scars out of your eyes and put them in the sky. You were meant to burn brighter than the gold on the leaves of the home you knew before. Hotter than the fires wild on the coast where you tried to soar. And if there is a chain, then break it. If you need permission, take it. Nothing but the world is what's in store. You were meant to burn. You were meant to burn. You were meant to burn. Thank you, guys.
Now, Now, Mark, we're going to invite you to sit right here. So, you can bring your water. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a time for community sharing. He did the message and the song. So now it's community sharing. So now he's 3 things in a row. This is a time when the community gets to make us say something as a response or ask him a question if you want. And it doesn't matter if this is your first time here or you've been here many, many times. You're still, you can still speak here at the church in Ocean Park. I'll give you this. Oh, this one. Done.
Hi, oh, that was wonderful. I loved your words as well. I have some training in reflexology, so touching someone with fingertips really feels wonderful and relaxes me as well as the other person. I wonder how it is massaging a horse.
It is, it's amazing. It is really powerful because they're so big and it's amazing because they're so in touch with their bodies most of the time. Sometimes they're not, but they're whereas like when I massage humans or when you work on humans, I'm sure you can tell like sometimes people aren't used to it. They'll really fight you. Horses, a lot of the times, will just give into it. So whereas with humans, I kind of guide the way, and like I used to, I'd be like, I'm working on this knot, I'm going to get into it. With horses, they'll move around, and so I just kind of go with it, and it's really fascinating. So like, if there's a place I want to work on, sometimes I'll start there, but then they'll move me to a different spot, and it kind of becomes sort of like a little dance. But in them moving me to like a different area, then they'll eventually move back to where I want it to be, and that'll all of a sudden have released. And then a lot of the times I won't be able to dig in, they'll be too sensitive, but even just laying hands on, that'll cause them to release. I joke with people that my job when I massage horses is like 75% cuddling, and it sort of is, because it is just a lot of, horses are herd animals, and they communicate through just physical touch. So it is just a lot of laying hands on, and it's really great. Highly recommend.
Great. Anybody else?
Thanks for being here. I wanted to chime in about the value of music in these times. Fred and I, last night, along with our friend Tandy, who many of you know, went to a concert given by T-Bone Burnett. I don't know how many of you know him. I didn't know his music. I knew he was a producer and all this, but he's a very progressive guy, and he was saying that he felt American music is a great resource during these times, and he has a very high regard for American music, partly because he says American music is what it is because of so many different cross currents, like people bringing their music to this country from Africa, from different parts of Europe, from Asia, and listening to it, even though not everyone performs the same way, but they've heard each other and they influence each other, and he thinks American music is the greatest music ever. And it was just encouraging. He felt that during this time, music is one thing that can really help us get through, and that it brings, as you said, that it brings people together. And we certainly believe in that proposition here at this church. So thanks for being part of it.
I'm so happy to be a part of it. It's great.
Boy, did I need what you brought this morning. I was just listening and taking in everything, and there were certain phrases and words you said that I could tell every cell in my body, and all the energy was like, ooh, that's it. Listen, take it in. Also, you have such a beautiful voice. I want to have that song on my phone that I can put on repeat so I can listen to it every day on Apple Music. Where is it?
We're going to record it here first.
Let's do it.
I'll get it too. Thank you so much.
Anybody? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do have music on Spotify. It's other music, but if you go on, all the places, but Mark and the Tiger, I have other songs out there. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Nathan.
I belong to a spiritual group called Subud, Susila Buddhi Dharma. It was founded by an Indonesian man. And it's very much in line with what you're talking about, like getting in touch with yourself, because first you sit, women are with women and men are with men, and you get quiet and you just free your mind, and then you just receive directly from Allah, and whatever comes off in music, crying, could be sitting in a prayer position, you could be walking around the room, you could be doing anything physically or mentally or just zoning out, and it reminds me of what you were talking about and your music. Thank you.
Your song was beautiful. My musical taste keeps spreading all over the place, and a few poet friends of mine and I get together every Monday and review obscure releases. One guy finds stuff from the 70s and 80s that no one ever heard of from different parts of the world, and another person goes into heavy, dark electronics, and I do mostly new releases, but since COVID, I hadn't listened to ambient or electronic music in quite a while, and all of a sudden my taste started changing. I started getting back into that, and I discovered a woman who lost her voice from some kind of virus, and for 2 albums she had to she recorded minimalist ambient music, but she went out into the woods where she lived and recorded the sounds of her walking and the sounds of nature and also the sounds of her home in the recordings. And it brings, some electronic music is not easy to listen to, but it takes you to another place that singer-songwriters or rock music doesn't go, and so, but it brings people together. The 4 of us that review this music, we're always saying, "Oh, I'll look that up after we hear someone talk about it." And I'm always discovering something new, and it almost seems like an adventure.
What's the name of that artist, do you know, off the top of your head?
I was looking it up. I can't find it right now. She was a singer-songwriter, and I'll tell you when I find it.
Yeah, please. I'd love to know.
Yeah, I had such a bad anxiety growing up. I couldn't listen to music until I was like in my 20s. And I was wondering, what did you think about like the concept that scientists claim that you can't change the type of music that you listen to like past your teens?
You know, I've never heard that before, but I think I disagree with it because most of my music taste now has grown and broadened so much more since my teens. I would say like in my 20s and probably like 20s and 30s, my music taste has really broadened. But I think that's because actively sought to broaden it. And I think maybe that could be a thing if you choose to just listen to music and you're not actively seeking out, like your group, I think, where you're you're really going and reviewing and listening to music, you're gonna experience all new things. But if you're not trying to broaden your horizons, then I would imagine that, your brain, like anything, you get used to the things that you get used to. But I think music is like anything, and the more things in the world that we experience and are open to experiencing, the more there is to enjoy. I think most things that we wall ourselves off from and say we don't like is just stuff in our head that we're saying that we don't like. My mother-in-law has told herself that she doesn't like 100 foods, but if you don't tell her what it is and she just eats it, she loves it every time. Yeah.
Thank you. When I hear you and your voice and your stance, I'm reminded of artists throughout history who've been maligned and, I guess you could say, ignored, because from what I can see, artists more or less point to the trauma that exists within the community. And in looking at these days, not only is the people of color being under attack, but I guess you could say, trans community is also being under attack as well, to the point with which they're shutting down libraries and they're, essentially saying that certain art need not exist. As an artist, I'm wondering what your feeling is towards countering not just that level of ignorance, but communicating with others. Because the way I see it, the most helpful thing in terms of being therapy is to create that movement. And so I'm wondering specifically how you feel in reference to speaking, to that trauma that exists. I'll give you an example also. When many black men were dying at the hands of the police, the rappers, expressed that, and I mean, a whole new genre was created. And I'm wondering specifically, not to say that, it doesn't exist because I haven't heard it. I just haven't heard it. And I'm wondering specifically how you would feel, in reference to addressing, many of those issues that are felt.
No, I agree with you. I think there's something bubbling to the surface right now. I mean, obviously, there's something in the world that's bubbling to the surface, but in the music industry, there's something bubbling to the surface. I've had this conversation with a lot of musician friends that something changed when streaming came into place. The music industry really changed. The way that people consume music, TikTok and Instagram have really changed music. People stopped listening to albums. People stopped, I grew up on folk music, so I'm very story-driven, very lyric-driven, and that's not really what people consume anymore. People listen to things for viral views and for algorithms and things like that. And it's very single-driven, so people are trying to write one song that'll get really famous and blow up, and they're not necessarily trying to sell albums because no one listens to CD, or no one buys CDs, no one buys records. They don't listen to full albums. They're just streaming things. And so whereas, in the days prior to that, where artists would make a whole album to tell a whole story, and they would have a lot to say, or they would make a music video that could tell a story and have a message behind it, those aren't really happening anymore because labels are seeing no value in that. But to your point, I think what's happening right now, because we've had so many years of that happening, and now there's something so awful, so many terrible things happening in the world. You are having artists, young and old, that are feeling like they need to say something. I watched a video yesterday of a woman in tears, and it was a quick second video, and then the whole video was her going, how do I help? Somebody tell me how to help. I'm calling, I'm reposting videos, I'm doing all the things, and I just don't know how to help. And I burst into tears watching it, because it was like, that's how we all feel. I feel like we just don't know what to do. And for musicians, for artists, the only thing we know how to do is to make art. And I think there's something happening right now where you have artists that are starting to make art again, like they used to in the 60s, or like how they did maybe, during like the race riots in the 90s and things like that, when I think there's going to be something happening. That's what I hope to be doing with my music. And I hope that we start to see that with more artists now. I don't know what it's going to look like. I hope sonically it sounds like something we've never seen before, but I think it's going to be coming.
Thank you.
Yes, I grew up with religious music, and that is all I knew. That was all I was interested in, really. And that has really created a lot of comfort and reassurance and confidence and so forth. And many of the present older people, they have moved from, it is religious music or spiritual music, and then they come into what you may call social music. Do you find any difference between the two? I find that watching TV now, I find that a lot of the young people move into music not from the church or from any Christian point of view, but they're moving from their own social issues and political stresses, and the music comes out of their cultural experience. Do you find any difference between the two?
I think at the end of the day, no, because ultimately, people listen to music or experience music because it evokes something deep within themselves. And so for some people that's religion, or it might be, some other emotional response. There's a reason so many people write about love. It's because we all have some understanding of it, whether it be for family members or for a significant other. And there's a reason people write about heartbreak so much, because it's just a very universal thing. But spirit, God, religion, that is also a very universal thing. I think maybe the reason why nowadays it's not as prevalent is because there's so many different ways to view religion, and I think so many people are unsure of how they view something outside of themselves now. I would be really interested to hear people write about or write religious music in a way that is removed from the church, because I don't see that happening very much, but it would be really fascinating to hear. The thing that I think so much religious music is known for is the arrangements, the beautiful orchestration, the organs, the symphonies composed with the religious connotations, and that evoke so much beautiful emotion behind them. And you don't see that being done in a more secular kind of way, and I think that would be really incredible to experience. But I think at the end of the day, it's all the same, right? It's all to evoke something profound, and again, to tap into a connection that we all share, whatever that connection may be.
Thank you. Louise, and then we're going to go online. I see somebody's hand online.
Well, I'll use this mic. I just thought of this to your point and what you were just saying. is that I heard once that you can listen to like love pop songs, secular romantic songs, and think of it as you're longing of spirit, or longing toward God, or longing of the Lord. And I thought that was so interesting.
It's like in like
romantic
Sister
songs.
Act, in the movie Sister Act, when Whoopi Goldberg, she takes all of those like disco hits, but she changes them for God.
Right.
You know, it's
Right. I think it's pretty cool, because all that religion is like longing for, spirit. And I don't particularly believe in God, but in that way that people speak of it. But I'm in a gospel choir, and it's all about God and, Jesus and everything. And I love it because it's so idealistic, and expresses the longing toward connection.
Great, we have one more.
Hey.
Excuse me, you don't speak English. I will speak for her. And going back to the fact that music brings everybody together and brings a connection. My mom doesn't speak English. She's from Africa, North Africa. She speaks Arabic, Italian. But she felt everything you said, and she really felt your song. So she wanted you to know that you arrived to her.
All right, we're going to go to Kim, Dr. Kim, or is it? Yeah.
It's interesting because in thinking about what you were saying, Chaplain Joseph, about music and how many of the songs that we hear, popular songs, don't come out of the church the way they did, the way they used to. What's interesting, and sometimes I say this to my students, is that these days, many times, if you want to find some of the best liberating theologians, look to rap and hip hop. I've had students and Daria knows about this, but write papers on, Kendrick Lamar, Pimp a Butterfly, and how, he's doing God talk. And it's not necessarily Jesus talk, per se, but it is God talk. So you think about other places we can look to find music that supposedly is in the secular realm, but when you really listen closely, it's not. It is theology. It's God.
All right, thank you, Dr. Kim. And it looks like Sarah Banda also have her hand up. Edward.
Me? Yes, I definitely have watched The Witcher. Listen, if I can get my song on that show, I would be very. If you know somebody, you tell me. What was that? Oh, thank you so much. That's really kind of you.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, well, we're going to have a moment of silence. And when we have this silence, I have paper and pencils out and something hard surfaces to write on. If you want to write down anything you're feeling now, or if you want to write a letter to yourself or to somebody else who has nurtured you along the way, or how you nurture yourself. How do you nurture yourself every day? I mean, we've been talking about music, and I think Daria mentioned how she felt she really needed this. We all, I think we are a singing community, and we're nurturing ourselves that way. If you'd like to write something down and either keep it for yourself or give it to somebody else, feel free. But we're going to have a moment of silence, and then it will be broken with another song, right? No, Dr. Kim.
Mark is going to sing after the offering.
Yeah, Mark is going to sing back again after the offering. Dr. Kim and Mama Ijoy are going to both sing together, which is wonderful to break the silence.
I missed you all last week. Some of us were out in the desert, which was a nice respite, but we're back. And Mark, as you were talking about all of the multiple things and your challenges and not too many things to do, that kind of resonated with me, of like, let go of some of those things. But in the multiple things we have to do, this is something I'd like to ask all of us not to let go of, which is sharing with the church, because we do need your support and value it to keep all of this going. So anything you can do. The bucket is for coins, as you know, and the basket is for paper money, but anything helps. So thank you very much.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share. From this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share. From this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share. From this we live. And now we'll hear from Mark again. Mark.
Righty. So this is the other song that's going to be recorded here. Sorry, let me find my book. So after the retreat where I wrote the song you heard before, I went to my best friend, my oldest friend in the whole world, was getting married to her now wife, and she had asked me to officiate. And so I had known that I wanted to surprise them by writing them a song. I'd known for the entire year that I was going to do this ceremony, that I wanted to write them the song. But for that whole year, I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to write about except for the fact that originally Sarah and I were supposed to end up married, but then we were both gay in the end, so it didn't work out. But when I was writing the vows for her and her wife, the ceremony that I ended up writing was a long allegory comparing love to a river, and that sometimes, love is raging and rough, and sometimes it's sweet and serene. And I wrote that ceremony, and then suddenly that allegory sparked this idea for the song, and this song came rushing out of me. So this is called The River, Sarah and Nicole's song.
Oh my love, I am a river, and I'm flowing on to you. May I go ever faster, your heart's what I'm after, so I'll be a river to you. Oh my love, I am a rain cloud, and I'm floating high for you. May I fill up forever with beautiful treasure, that I can rain always on you, that I can rain always on you. So lean on me, trust in me, I'll be your anything. All that you need I will do, and hold my love. You are the ocean, waiting for me under the moon. I'll go towards the horizon, the stars in the night sky. Watch as I flow into you. Watch as I flow into you. So lean on me, trust in me, I'll be your anything. All that you need, I will do. And hold her, sweet talker, and if you need water, I'll be a river for you. I'll be a river for you. I'll be a river for you.
Wow. We are so lucky. Wow. Sometimes I wonder how I got here. Many days I wonder how I got here from the first day I got here. So now we're going to have somebody doing bread. And I see there's bread here, so there actually is. Oh, Greg, it's Gail.
Oh, you want me to come up?
You want to talk?
I can, yes. I'll come up. If you could. Yeah, could you bring those flowers down for me? Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Gail. I think I know you all. And most of you know my story, that my mom passed away when I was 9 after 4.5 years of illness. And she died the day before Mother's Day. Yeah, double whammy. And we went to church, as we always did. Oh, yeah, the bread, by the way, is gluten-free. You just take a piece. It's made with cottage cheese, of all things, and oat flour. Oh, no sugar. No sugar. Yes, you may. Anyway, we went to church that Sunday, Mother's Day. And in this church, which I hope they don't do anymore, is they gave carnations out. You got a white carnation if your mother had passed, and you got a red carnation if your mother was still living. And so my dad got his red carnation because his mother was still alive, and then the 4 of us kids walked down the aisle with our white carnation. And it was one of the most painful experiences I had, because I felt like the spotlight was on us 4, and people were thinking, oh, those poor, pitiful Price kids. And I did feel pretty pitiful. So I was telling Janet this morning that I always like to do bread near my mother's birthday or Mother's Day. And I brought carnations. And you notice none of them are white, none of them are red. And I would like you at some point to come pick a flower that you want that represents your relationship with your mother, or who she was, who she is. I already know I'm going to take one of these. I just like it. It makes me feel good. So I'm remaking Mother's Day for me, taking it back. And in light of the talk of music, I kept thinking of these 2 songs that I remember my mom singing. And my voice is not what it used to be. And but I'd like to sing one of them. and I know you know this, White Coral Bells,
Oh, you want me to sing?
with me.
Okay, do you want me to round it too?
Sure.
After we.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and if you know this song, please join in. I remember singing these songs as we would start on vacation. We lived in Kansas. As we were driving through western Kansas, anybody who's done that knows it's not particularly interesting, but my mom would roll down the windows and say, "Oh, smell that fresh air." Of course, we only smelled pegs. And so I roll up the windows like, "Ooh!" You know. But that's a wonderful memory of mine. I don't have a lot of her, but that's one of them. So.
Yeah.
White coral bells upon a slender star, lilies of the valley deck my garden wall.
Oh, don't you wish?
Oh, don't you wish
that you could hear them sing?
That you could hear them sing. That will happen only when the fairies sing. White coral bells upon a slender stalk.
Lilies
of the valley.
Deck my garden walk.
My garden walk. Oh, don't you wish that you could hear them ring? That will happen only when the fairies sing.
Can we do it one more time so I can
Yes,
make it
of
into a
course.
round? Come on.
White coral bells upon a
coral
slender
bells upon a slender stalk.
Deck my garden.
Lilies of the valley deck my
Oh, don't you wish
walk.
that you
Oh,
could hear
don't
them
you wish
ring?
that you could hear them ring?
When the
That will happen
fairies
only
sing.
when the
Fairies sing. Thank you all. And do pick up a carnation for yourself.
Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful.
This is the 59th Mother's Day.
Okay, let's end with this. In beauty it's begun. In beauty it's begun. It's beautiful to the left of me. It's beautiful to the right of me. It's beautiful below me. It's beautiful above me. It's beautiful before me. It's beautiful behind me. It's beautiful around me. It's beautiful inside of me. In beauty it's begun. In beauty it's begun. It's beautiful to the left of me, beautiful to the right of me. It's beautiful below me. It's beautiful above me, beautiful before me, beautiful behind me, beautiful around me, beautiful inside of me. In beauty it's begun. In beauty it's begun. In beauty it's begun. In beauty it's begun.
Now we're going to see Carry On together. If we hold hands and lift them up and I count to 3, and everybody on mute. What? Don't forget the carnation. And if you want to write a letter on a paper or a book, go ahead and take one of those with you too. Unmute on Zoom, and we're going to say it together. 1, 2, three.